Gather round, friends. That's the wrong intro.
Yes, it is.
Take 3.
Take 3.
Grab your candles and gather round, friends.
For another episode of Ghoulish
and Foolish. Ooh.
Okay, so we wanted to start off by doing an introduction, just explain who I am, who she is, and then why we started doing this, what we want to get out of it. To be honest, at the moment, not much. Just like to chat, but you obviously introduce yourself because you can speak. It's a podcast, you can talk. I'll go first. I'm Amy.
And I'm Vanity Act.
Sennin. Okay, I didn't want to put my government name on you because it just, Amy's enough, I think. And enough people, the whatever 50 followers we have at the moment, know who I am. So I don't need to put my government name. But what we'll do, we'll start with how we met and like how we got to know each other, and then obviously what led to this. So you can start first because obviously
we became friends, I would say, properly about 4 years ago.
Yes.
Through my other half,
Yes.
Jake.
And my best friend.
You were friends how long?
About 13, 14 years now, me and Jake.
And then we've been going on 9 years this year. October we got together. Ooh, spooky.
Spooky.
But yeah, we became friends when we moved back to Wales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously flash your hand because they're engaged. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
We support the gays.
Support the gays. I'm an ally.
Speak, Valentina. We're both very hot-headed people.
Very hot-headed people. I'm a Leo. Josh is a Capricorn.
Yep, Vanity.
Vanity is a Capricorn. Fuck!
Well, we became really close because Jake was working in Las Iguanas, and in the December I had my first ever drag gig in Cardiff.
Yes.
And you came as my woo girl.
I did. I was a woo girl.
Yeah, so
I'm a good woo girl.
You are, yeah. So it was a December Christmas show at the Queer Emporium for a show called Draglins. I will drop a photo here of how busted I looked back then.
I don't think he looked busted, to be fair. She. Fuck.
It's okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we became closer then.
Yes.
And we I started drag 4 years ago, and Amy's come to all of like the shows we do.
Everyone that I've been able to go to because
we do a lot of brunches up and down the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of the Cardiff ones Amy comes to, and I remember, oh my god. I remember we used to do photo shoots in our house and Amy would come and be the camera woman.
Oh my god.
There's this photo, Amy was just taking photos whilst me and my partner Glass, who's also a drag queen, were messing around just trying to come up with poses. And she snapped this photo. Let's see if we can like get it to appear here.
If not, because I think we're jumping the gun a little bit here in reference to editing. If we can't edit it in, like we'll just post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
In like a slideshow.
I'm going here.
In here, in the box that's in between me and Vanity. I didn't government name you then.
Well done, I'm so impressed. Okay, so on with that, I've been doing drag for 4 years now, in and around Cardiff. I started doing a show called Hey Marys in Marys with all the Hey Marys like who are exceptional drag queens and drag artists and drag kings. And then I've started my own show called Hell House, which is in Fuel every other month, which is like all concepty and weird and fun.
Drag variety.
Drag variety, good word. But yeah, so we thought combine two of our biggest loves.
Yes.
Well, 3 technically, our friendship and the fact that we just talk shit.
That was a lovely thing to say.
Thank you.
That was really nice, yeah. Number 1 there. Go on.
Then drag, and then our love of just like spooky, weird stuff.
Yeah. So our concept in reference to spooky, weird stuff is, I think, very, very different.
Yeah.
You prefer like more horror side of things.
Yeah.
So you're probably into horror films and stuff. I'm not. I don't like being terrified.
She looks like a girl that would love horror movies. But you give gore and...
I'm vomiting in a bin.
Yeah.
Or screaming, crying, you have to carry me out of a movie theatre. Like, I can't do it.
You should have seen her when we went to Avon Valley a few years ago. And if this podcast takes off, we will do a live, me in full drag, going around Fear at Avon Valley again.
Yeah, I think that would be good, actually.
Just seeing a drag queen running around a scare maze screaming.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as well, because as much as that was such a good experience for me, it was also horrific, because I had just had surgery on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So I was on a lot of painkillers. Terrified out of my mind, and they made me crawl through the tunnel.
I also remember you going around just with she'd hid a headphone in
and
so she could listen to Phil Collins
full blast, and the woman kicked the door open. I was facing the wrong way, and then she literally tapped me on the shoulder, and that's when it started. And I was screaming, howling. I was like, "Get me out of here!" And like, I literally couldn't handle it. I was literally almost pissing tears. This woman was like, "It hasn't even started."
No, the bit before that, they called me and you into a room, put me in a box, and you stood arguing with her going, I want to go in there.
Please let me in there.
And she was like, no, individual. And you were like, no, we can both
sit. And I was
sit.
actually like debating with this woman who, by the way, was her full-time job for like 2 weeks leading up to Halloween. And I was like, but the man outside said it was a group activity. We're a group. Put me in there, please. And I was literally like tearing up. She was like, no. She was like, now move. And I was like, right, I don't want to. And they're not allowed to put hands on you. This one was very close.
Yeah.
And she was just like, please move. And I was like, okay. And then obviously go to the door, hand on shoulder, screamed in this woman's face. And she was like, you got to turn and walk through the highway. She was like, it hasn't started yet. And I was there just like slamming my AirPods in my ears. And I was like, Phil, please help me.
And that was the first maze of 5.
Yeah, well, the man with the chainsaw terrified me as well. Oh, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to digress into that. I tried to throw a fucking axe at him.
But like she said earlier, she's not a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. I am. Verbally violent, I think. Not physically violent. Never physically violent.
No, yeah.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. The more I say, the more I can believe it.
Manifesting it.
Manifest that I'm a nice guy.
So back to the like topic of like horror, spooky, and everything. What is your affinity with it, Amy?
So mine's more the spiritual side of things. So we had a conversation about this not long ago. So like, my deep beliefs is like, obviously the Native Americans, they believe like your hair is like an extension of your soul and stuff like that, and that really interests me, just about how they like their beliefs in like the spiritual afterlife and stuff like that. And then it's also like with movies, for example, when you see like parents have lost like a child, and I said the example to you, that woman, I'm pretty sure it was the Moores murders,
and
that photo,
the Hinleys.
Yeah, and that photo is taken of her, and she stood up on the moors, and she was like, I don't know why, but this, like, it always brings me back to this place. And, like, her son had been dead for, like, years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then, like, she passed, and then there was, like, photos of them digging up the body, and it was her son, and the photo is, like, not even, like, 500 meters away from when her son was being dug up. So it's, like, stuff like that, which makes me believe that there's something, like, spiritual.
Yeah, he was calling to her, yeah.
So that's the difference in what we...
Yeah.
I do enjoy horror stuff, but that's my introduction to it.
Yeah.
I like The Conjuring. There we go. I like The Conjuring. Like spooky films that don't involve people getting their heads chopped off. I don't like slasher films. That's the one.
The idea of Saw is your worst nightmare.
Absolutely no chance.
No, yeah.
That's not happening. You wouldn't be able to pay me enough to go and watch Saw.
No.
Absolutely no chance.
But yeah, my introduction more is, I watched a lot of horror films as a kid. My dad's favourite movie is The Exorcist. So I've watched a lot of horror movies. We have a horror wall in my bedroom. So I enjoy a slasher, a scary movie, a film that makes me go, I need to watch an episode of Family Guy after this or else I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
But then I do enjoy like the spiritual side of like communicating with ghosts. like talking, seeing what there is. We've both had a few experiences, which will be a later episode of personal experiences.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think that's also how we bonded. We go on a lot of night drive. I don't know why I did that. Like
night drives is literally a drive
at night. Yeah, at like 1 a.m. and we just drive around and just chat shit.
Correct. Yeah.
We may do a few podcast episodes from the car.
Yeah, in the car where we drive around some spooky country lanes.
I'm not getting in full drag to drive around.
No, we won't.
I'll be a boy.
Yeah, and then I can government name him then and not feel bad.
You don't feel bad anyway.
I don't, I just forget. I know it's not my fault, so like that's why I don't beat myself up about it. Because the majority of the time I see you and you're in your male form.
Yeah. The toxic boys with the letter J.
It is full male form.
Yes, because I give off real mask energy.
Yeah.
Football. Beer. Pussy.
Oh my god. God, no. Absolutely no. Our accents are really different. That's what accents.
Yeah, our accents are really different.
Yeah.
So Amy is a Rhonda girl through and through. Rhonda, sorry.
Not Rhonda.
Are you
I
not?
say valleys. I'm not from the Rhonda though.
You're from the Bull.
Yeah, it's not the Rhonda.
I thought the Bull was the Rhonda.
No. Well, it's RCT, but I never say that I'm from the Rhonda. Like, that's passport and that, which I'm not. I say valleys.
Oh, valleys girl.
I mean, you can eat me up, to be fair.
She's rough.
Do you want to talk about where you're from? Go on. Let's talk rough.
I'm from a lovely little town called Tamworth.
And where's that near?
Near Birmingham.
There we go.
Or as Jake says,
Birmingham.
But I don't have a Brummie accent.
No. Yeah, you're not. You don't have a strong one. You can hear in your vowels sometimes.
My vowels.
Your vowels.
Gains.
Cupcake.
No, Tamworth is a nice place.
It's a nice place. Very close to Drayton Manor. We love that.
Yeah, we'll do an episode on Tamworth Castle because there's loads of like, ghosts and spirits there.
Yes.
Which is very, very interesting.
Very
but
interesting.
Talking about that, you as the followers, the fans, comment below, where do you want us to go explore? Because we wanna do some live episodes of going to explore places.
Mm-hmm.
And like doing, like using the Ouija board, using the Estes method, we've got a divination coin.
Yes.
We want to get a few other things.
Mm-hmm.
What locations do you want us to go to? What locations would you love to see a 6'4" drag queen running around scared, followed by Amy who can't run?
Well, I can run. Jake see me run with the dogs yesterday. Just want to point that out there. I can run. I just choose not to. And I fully have accepted if I'm ever in a position where there's an axe murderer taking my life.
And I fully accepted. I don't need to have to run faster than the axe murderer. I just need to outrun Amy.
Because I'll just give up.
Yeah.
I ain't doing a 100-meter dash.
It's
very... Take my life.
It's very... Oh, if we can insert the clip.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's very... Brenda and Cindy in Scary Movie 2, where she's hidden behind the wall.
Yeah. I just want to also point out the actual height difference between the pair of us. So I wear platform shoes.
Yeah.
So in platform shoes, I'm pushing 5'6". Well, 5'6", 5'7".
Out of heels, I'm 6 foot exactly.
Yeah. So
in heels, I wear like 6 inch, or I've got some 9 inch pleasers.
Yeah.
So I can go on 7 foot tall.
Yeah, but if I'm in like flats, I'm like 5'4" and a bit. So you
5'4" and a fart.
Yeah, 5'4" and a fart. That's the one. But like, if we went to live locations, for example, and I had like, you get spooked more than me.
Yeah, I'm a very jumpy person.
Yeah, so Mandy will be literally leaving me in the dust. A 7-foot drag queen with a full wig glued down, and I'm just going to be stuck in a corridor somewhere. Like, out but the pair of us, like, I'm getting possessed.
Yeah, probably.
You could be fine.
Well, you're also going to be possessed because when we do like the Estes method, like, and we talk to things, I'm very respectful, and then Amy's sat there going, "This answer's shit. Talk to me. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored."
You have to be, obviously.
She antagonises them. She'd be the girl that went and cut Annabelle's hair.
Ah! No, we're going to get on to that actually. Oh my god.
That's episode 2.
I gotta center myself now. That's actually made me so mad. So mad. Oh my god, there's just some dumb fucking people I literally can't. Anyway, but yeah, the height difference is actually crazy.
Mad.
And Josh can actually shift pretty quick.
I'm one of the girls that can run in heels.
Josh and Vanity, so I just want to point that out because I just government named you again.
That's fine.
We can do a counter. Actually.
Yeah, we're gonna have a counter. How many times Amy government names
and see how
me.
I can improve like further as we go. But yeah, you also look more glam than me. To be fair to you.
This?
Yeah.
I've just got some like mascara on and a bit of lip.
Yeah, a bit of mascara, a bit of little blush.
Oh.
Styled your hair this morning.
No, I wake up like
Do you
this.
grew that yourself?
Yeah, I grew up myself.
I thought so. Do you actually want to tell everyone who you are?
Oh yeah,
dressed
so
as?
this is my Lydia Dietz outfit when she becomes. I'm not standing up because I'm not in heels. I'm wearing sliders.
She's not currently 7 foot.
she's in sliders. Comfort for the gram.
I'm also in sliders, but I'm not lifting my foot up high enough for you to see. I mean, I can take it off, but they literally just basically
I thought you meant your foot then.
I wish I could. How spooky would that be?
But yeah, no. So Lydia Dietz, because Beetlejuice is iconic. I've still not seen Beetlejuice 2 though.
Have you not?
No.
I loved it. I hear that there was a lot of reviews that people didn't like it, but I was a big fan. I liked it.
And we need to watch it. I'm not in work this week, so
yeah,
I'll do a movie day. I'll watch Beetlejuice 2 and I'll let people know if I like it or not.
Best thing that happened out of that movie was the Fanta. Straight up, loved the Fanta that they were doing with all like the faces on them, and they did the spooky flavour, which is bang. I like the spooky flavour.
No, I liked that. I like the Catherine O'Hara flavour.
Yeah.
Love her. I don't know what flavour it was. I was just like, get me
it was Catherine O'Hara flavour, obviously.
Yeah, I was like, just get me the Catherine flavour.
Catherine flavour. So we're gonna obviously ask each other, what's your favourite horror films? So it's just an introduction episode.
Okay,
what is your favourite horror film?
I would say my favourite horror films have to be the Scream franchise. I know the new one, there's a lot of controversy and a lot of issues about it at the moment. Mm-hmm. But I'm a fan of the original. Like, I think they've stand and held up in time. They came out in the 90s, and I think they still stand really well in like the whole horror franchise of now. Yeah. That's what I really enjoy about them. They're nostalgic and feel very 90s. Yeah. But they also don't feel, sometimes you watch some, like if you watch the Elm Street films now, they have not aged well. No. But I think the Scream ones have. Okay. Well, I only really watched them not that long ago, because I did that marathon. I remember texting you being like, they're on Amazon Prime, I'm going to watch them. And I also watched Halloween. Yeah. So I'm actually a massive fan of Star Trek, and then only recently realised that he was wearing a William Shatner mask. William Shatner. No, Willie Shatner. Willie Shatner. Willie Shatner. Willie Shatner. But yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, we'll watch it. Loved it. Think again, completely agree with the icons, to be fair. When it comes to those films though, like, because they filmed like back in the day, and I love the 80s. Yeah. I love films from the 80s. My favourite actual film is like Jurassic Park. So love everything from the 80s. Some people class that as like a horror. Like same as Jaws. I've had this conversation with so many people. I'm not going to digress into that now because it pisses me off. But why? People say it's not. I also think that Jurassic Park 3 is a romance. But again, we're not going to get into that. Jurassic Park 3, romance. Romance. Picture this. Your son has gone missing on an island. You're going through a divorce. Then you rekindle your romance because, you know, you're going to find your kid and then whatever. That's not the song. Yeah, it is. That's the cell phone thing. Oh, yeah. I was going to say everyone. I thought you were doing the theme song and I was like, what? I was like, everyone as a kid wanted that as their ringtone from that film. Yeah, but Jurassic Park is I forgot where I was going with this. Jurassic Park. Oh, I love things from the 80s. So like Back to the Future. And obviously the 80s, they weren't developed enough in reference to like special effects. Yeah, you can tell it's corn flour.
the slash and stuff you can tell is fake, so I didn't mind sitting through it. The
Yeah.
newer version of Scream and that, like, I don't think I would be able to sit there and watch it because we have progressed as, you know,
CGI, special
features
effects
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I wouldn't be able to sit there and watch it because I would literally spew in a bin. But my favourite horror film is probably the first one that I ever seen, which was Jeepers Creepers. And
I've never seen it.
I thought you said you were terrified of it.
I saw as a kid a very small snippet of Jeepers Creepers, the bit where she's driving in the bus and there's the guy with black hair going, he's in the field, and then he changes to the bloody one. And I was like 9, so I shouldn't have reacted this way, but I remember just standing there and sobbing, going, turn it off, turn it off.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I also think, like, I'm a fan of, for example, you can use Jurassic Park as an example. I do think it is horror-esque.
Yeah.
But like War of the Worlds, for example, I think I would class it as a horror film because it's like, it's horrific.
Yeah.
It's a really bad series of events. But it's also like, what's that film? Tom Holland's in it. He's a wee boy. And his family, they're in like in a hotel resort and there's a tsunami.
Oh, Boxing Day.
Is it Boxing Day?
Yeah, because it's set on the Boxing Day tsunami.
Yeah, so like that to me, I would class that as a horror because I think it's an
awful disaster film.
I think disaster films and horror like very like alongside each other. There's a lot of death. Natural disasters are just horrific in general.
Yeah.
But I understand why that doesn't really fit into like the
horror
genre.
Horror, yeah. But then horror has subgenres. You have the slasher, the paranormal.
But it's like, do you know when they say like beauty's in the eye of the beholder?
Yeah.
I feel like that's very similar to horror. Horror is such a broad, like...
Yeah, there's films people... Do not get me started on the fact that people rave and are like, sorry, controversial opinion. Lots of people rave and go, oh my god, Midsommar and Hereditary, some of the best horror films that... I find them so boring.
Do you?
So boring. I switched Hereditary off not long after she got beheaded because I was like, I'm bored now.
I've never seen
nothing's
it.
happened.
And now I'm never going to watch it because she gets beheaded.
He was driving in a car and her head hits a lamppost and comes off.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
I'll show you a video of it later.
No, thank you. Please don't do that.
Okay, so if you were in a horror movie,
okay,
where do you think you'd survive to?
Right at the top. Do you know why? Because I'm not as dumb as these people. Sorry, but what the fuck is going on with people? Where's the common sense? I really just don't get it. You see a man running at you with a machete and you've got 3 like concrete doors and like whatever. Why are people walking through these doors towards these people? Like obviously you run away. You get in a car, even though I have no driving license, and you drive away. I just don't understand. It's sorry, it's fucking stupid.
We would be very different people.
You're running towards the guy then?
No, I would either die for being the slut and having sex.
Oh, okay.
Or I'm the person that like, and she tells me off for this all the time, if we're like sitting in the house or we're walking somewhere and it's dark and we hear a noise, I'm the person that turns around and goes, hello?
Yeah. Oh,
hi,
God.
anyone there? And Amy's like,
yeah, so if we're on the scale between me and you, like, I'm going home, you're not.
No.
I'm burying you.
Yeah, I'm probably like the first kill.
Yeah. I reckon I'm in like the top 2 of surviving.
Yeah.
If it comes down to like 100-meter dash, I'm gonna take my life.
Yeah.
Take my legs, wherever you need to do, Mr. Axeman. But like, I'm not running a lap for you. I've given up. I got so far. I'm proud of my achievement. Put me up on the pedestal. I'll have a great funeral.
I'm the title sequence kill.
Yeah.
Or the Paris Hilton in House of Wax kill.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's been your first episode of Ghoulish and Foolish.
Yeah, excited. We promise to get better, to be honest. Like, obviously, first episode, a little bit nervous. We do have another one coming up.
We will upload onto our Instagram the bloopers of starting this episode 3 times.
Crazy. Crazy.
But if you want to stick around, if you want to become one of our ghoulish friends, like, comment, subscribe.
Hit the bell. Hit that bell.
Ding ding. And we shall see you soon for another episode of Ghoulish and
Foolish.
Foolish. Mwah.